And we're going to start. So today's theme, I'd love to have a theme of the class. Today's theme is grounding, because I think we can all use that. So we're going to start off kind of slow, and we're going to build up from there, like we usually do. And feel free to modify anything and everything that doesn't work in your body, right? So you can skip anything, you could add on anything, as always. We are going to start in child's pose. So if you need something to pad your knees, feel free to get that. Right? So this is starting off all about comfort and grounding. Start in child's pose. Now, the decorative pillow, the decorative pillow you can use for your forehead in child's pose. If your head doesn't come to the floor, then you can use the pillow. So I really want to encourage you or block to have some kind of prop for your forehead, because we're going to be in child's pose for a little bit, doing a couple different variations. And so it's nice to have a little support for your head. So go ahead and find yourself in child's pose and any variation with your arms. So you can either have your arms forward or your arms behind you to start, right? Any variation. So I see there's a couple other people that have just joined. Welcome. Please grab a decorative pillow, a firm pillow that you can use as a prop. And then find your way into child's pose, either arms forward or arms behind you, and have, if your forehead doesn't hit the floor of the mat, have a prop, like a decorative pillow or a block that you can support your forehead on. And then let's just take a couple deep cleansing breaths to arrive. So inhaling through your nose, and then audible exhale. Let me mute everybody. I always forget to do that. I'm going to mute you. We'll check back in later. Current new participations. Yes. Okay, here we go. Inhale through the nose and exhale out your mouth. So taking this moment to arrive deeply on your mat, clearing out all the mental cobwebs by beginning to drop into the sound of your breath, inhaling and exhaling fully. So as you inhale, imagine your entire body, your entire being filling up with breath. And as you exhale, just allow the body to soften and release. So it's this dynamic relationship between filling up and emptying. Quieting the mind as you deepen your breath. And for those of you who are familiar with Ujjayi breathing, which is an oceanic sound of your breath, you're going to begin to shift now into Ujjayi breathing, so you can actually hear the sound of your breath. And then your breath serves as a reminder to quiet your mind. And feel free to interchange your hand, the position of your arms. So if your arms are forward for a few breaths and you want to bring them behind you for a few breaths, feel free to interchange. And now you're going to bring your arms out to the side like airplane wings. So still in child's pose, but your arms now wide out to the side like airplane wings, right? And then spread your fingers wide and begin to press the entire palm down against the surface of your mat or your floor, looking for the texture of that surface and getting rid of any gaps or air bubbles between the webbing of the digits of your fingers. So really drawing your awareness to your palms, to the texture of your palms, to the surface beneath the palms, and drawing your mind's eye to your hands. And let your elbows and your shoulder heads be heavy. So let the shoulder head sink down towards the floor. And if you find you have a little bit more space, now that you've taken a few breaths and begin to sink into your shoulder heads, you can walk your fingers out a little further forward. Three more breaths here, letting the pressure point of the forehead press gently into the mat, reminding you that the mind takes a back seat to the breath. And then crawling yourself up to a seated position, remaining on your shins if you can, if that's okay, that doesn't hurt. You're remaining on your shins. And then inhale, draw the arms up towards the ceiling, clasping the hands together, and on an exhale, just bring them to the heart center. So just a couple organic breaths. Inhale, exhale. Two more times like that. Inhale, exhale. One more time like that. Inhale, exhale. Now coming onto hands and knees. Cat and cow. So you're gonna inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, curl. Two more times just like that. No cat, no cow. Last time. Coming back to neutral spine. Feel free to modify anything and everything. You're going to extend your right arm out in front of you, and then the left leg's going to extend behind you. All right, so feel free to stop with just the leg on the floor and extending the arm. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And then begin to flex the back foot and press it into an imaginary wall and draw the navel in. So kind of like a little cat and cow here, like we did with both knees on the floor, but now just one leg extended. One more time, rounding the spine and then straightening the spine, and then let that go, switching sides. Left palm, the left thumb's going to reach up towards the ceiling, so you're externally rotating the shoulder joint, and then the right leg extends out behind you. And take a moment to kind of ground down, and then we animate the pose, right? So you're going to flex the right foot behind you and extend the left fingers, and then kind of a little cat and cow, round, and then extend. Inhale, round, exhale, extend. One more time, inhale, round, and exhale, extend, and let that go. And then we're gonna add a little dynamic movement here. Right arm, left leg extends on an inhale. On an exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Two more times, just like that. Fast or slow, doesn't matter, depending on what's calling out to you. Last time. Waking up the body. And then release, switching sides. Inhale, left arm, right leg reaches. Exhale, curl. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. Breath practice. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale. Let that go. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming into your first downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Bend one knee, sink the opposite heel. Bend the other knee, sink the opposite heel. Let your head and neck be heavy. Let it go. Shake the head. Yes. Shake the head. No. Walk the hands midway towards your feet. So halfway, and then stack your hips up over your heels. So you can kind of rock forward and back a couple times till you find your hips directly over your heels, and then cup your fingers and get long in your spine and just let your head and neck go. And then plant the left palm as you reach the right palm either to the shin, the thigh, the calf, the ankle, either one, and then begin to twist. So gazing underneath the left armpit, lengthening through the left arm, let the head and neck go. Couple breaths. And then switch sides. Right palm down, left palm reaches back around either the calf, the ankle, the thigh. Doesn't matter, whatever you can comfortably grab a hold of, and then begin to twist. So looking underneath the right armpit. And then let that go, and then walk your hands back all the way to your feet. And separate your feet nice and wide, so wider than hip distance. Put a micro bend in your knees, and then let your torso hang. Don't grab a hold of anything, just let the arms dangle. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. And then go ahead and clasp a hold of the elbows. And feel free to work with bent knees if that feels better in your back, or you can work with straight legs, either way. And then begin to rock your torso side to side. And then clasp the hands together behind the back and draw the arms up and over. Feel free again to work with bent knees if that feels better on your back, or you can work with straight legs. Doesn't matter. No right or wrong way to go. Oh, feels so good on my shoulders. And then release the arms and simply clasp the hands together behind the head, the neck, and then give it a little tug. Draw your elbows to your knees. And then release the arms and slowly inching your way, kind of inch by inch, crawling your fingers back to the front of your mat. Go really slow, take your time, no hurry. And then separate your feet, so line your pinky toes up with the outer edges of your mat, so they're wide. And then come into a downward facing dog with your pinky toes lined up with the edges of your mat, and then press your hips and thighs back. And then heel toe the feet back to hip distance. Come onto the balls of the toes, and then swivel both heels to the left, and then pull the hips and thighs back. So IT band stretch. And come back to center and swivel over to the other side. And back to center to your downward facing dog and drop down to your knees and take a child's pose. And then lift your torso, finding your way back into downward facing dog. And pedal out the feet. Bend one knee, sink the opposite heel. Bend the other knee, sink the opposite heel. So good. And then gaze at your fingers and step your feet to meet your hands and arch up. On an exhale, bow, forward fold. So we're going to do that 3 times, either placing your hands on your shins if they don't come to the floor, right? So inhale, arch up, look up, exhale, forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale, long spine, arch up. Exhale, let it go. Last time. Inhale, long spine, arch. Exhaling, release. Bending the knees now, you're going to stack your bones. With your knees bent, you're going to lift your torso to come up to standing, stacking your bones on top of each other. Go slow. Coming up to standing, we're going to move into some sun salutations. So here's where you get to choose, right? You can modify everything and anything that doesn't work in your body. You can stay in downward dog. You can drop down to child's pose, right? So whatever works for you. Coming to the front of your mat, we're going to come into Tadasana. So mountain pose, and we're going to build the pose from the ground up, right? So you're going to lift your toes up, pressing the balls of the toes into the floor and the heels, the inner and outer arches. And then you're going to release the toes, lift the thighs and kneecaps up, take the shoulders, slide them down. So as if your fingers had little weights attached to the ends of the digits, pulling the fingers down towards the floor. Now engage the legs by pressing the balls of the feet down, lifting the thighs and the kneecaps, and then lift up through the crown of the head, but soften through so no back bending, soften through the torso. So the whole body is in one straight line. The front body comes to the back body, right? And then you plug down through the feet as you lift up through the crown of the head and the back of the ribs. And then find a focal point at eye level, steady your gaze. Let's breathe in a minute. Let's breathe out a minute. So standing in Tadasana, meaning full body integration. Everything is working vigorously and you're focusing on your breath. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Turn the palms up. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Inhaling, long spine, look up. Exhale, step back, top of the push-up, pause. Here's where you can choose, right? You can come down to your knees and then lower the torso this way and then come up to upward facing, or you can go through chaturanga all the way down. Finding your way back to downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Good. Technical difficulties. One more breath here. Gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rising up to standing, arms reach. Exhale, pull it into the heart center. Take a moment. Breathe. And again, inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Top of the push-up, pause. Breathe in. Lower on the exhale. Lifting on the inhale. Pressing the hips back on the exhale. 3 breaths in downward dog, or maybe you choose to drop down to child's pose. Right? This is where you get to be your own teacher. One more breath here. Gazing at the fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise. Arms reach, look up. Pull it into the heart center, exhaling. Each sun salutation, we strip away a layer of the onion skin, we quiet the mind. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Top of the push-up, pause. Breathe in. Lower as you breathe out. Inhale it up. Exhale it back. 3 breaths, downward facing dog. At the end of your exhalation, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale to bow. Inhale, rise. Arms reach, look up. Exhale, right to heart center. 2 more times. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Top of the push-up, we breathe in. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale it back. 3 breaths. Downward facing dog, quieting the mind. Gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands as you arch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise on up to standing. Exhale, pull it into the heart center. Take a moment. We do one more. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach as you look up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, step the feet back, top of the push-up, pause. Ride the breath on your exhale. Lifting on the inhale, and then pressing the hips back on your exhale. If I could see all your bodies in class right now, I would most likely suggest that you externally rotate your wrists a little bit to find a little bit more relief and space in your shoulders as you broaden your collarbones. One more breath. Gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale to bow. Inhale, plugging into the feet as you rise up to standing, and then pulling it right into your heart. Nice work. We're gonna build a little more heat, so feel free to modify if you need to, right? Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair pose, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold as you straighten your legs. Inhale, long spine arch. Exhale, step it back, top of the push-up, pause. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale it back. One breath, one movement. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, step it through. You rise on the inhale. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just come up. You lower on the exhale. Inhale, right leg meets left. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, downward dog. Left side, inhale up and back. Exhale, step it through. Rising on the inhale, don't think, just move. Lowering on the exhale. Left leg meets right, inhale. Lower as you exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale it back. Woohoo! Downward facing dog. 3 breaths, maybe dropping down to child's pose. Gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, squat, chair pose. And then coming up to standing and pulling your hands into your heart center. Close your eyes. Woo! Nice work. Moving energy around, quieting the mind. We're gonna do 2 more rounds of Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. Feel free to skip it. Feel free to modify. Here we go. Inhale, chair pose. Arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold as you straighten your legs. Inhaling, arch up, look up. Exhale, step back, top of the push-up, hold. Use the exhale to lower. Use the inhale to lift. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg, reach it up and back. Exhale, step it through. Rise on the inhale. Don't think, just move. Lower on the exhale. Woo! Right leg meets left, inhale. Lower, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Nice work. Left side. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, step it through. Rise on the inhale. Lower on the exhale. Left leg meets right. Inhale. Woohoo! Lower, exhale. Lifting, inhale. Press the hips back. Exhale. Now is a good time, if you need a break, to drop down to your knees and take child's pose for a few breaths. Otherwise, staying in downward dog. Gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale as you bow. Inhale, chair pose. Pressing up to standing, pulling it right into your heart, closing your eyes. So we're moving energy around this morning. Right about now, lots of things are shifting. Last round. Stay with me, you got this. Inhale, chair pose, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold as you straighten your legs. Inhale, long spine, look up. Exhale, step it back, top of the push-up, pause, breathe in. Lower, breathe out. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Right leg's gonna reach up and back. When you're ready, exhale, step it through. Rise on that inhale, don't think, just move. Lower on the exhale, woo-hoo. Right leg meets left, inhale, lower as you exhale. Inhale up, exhale back, left side, inhale up and back. Exhale, step it through. Rising on the end, inhale, lowering on the exhale. Left leg meets right, inhale, lower as you exhale. Inhale, lift, exhale back. 3 breaths in down dog, or maybe it's a good time to drop down to your knees and find child's pose. Last breath, gazing at your fingers, step or jump your feet to meet your hands as you arch. Exhale to bow. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, coming up to standing, pulling it into your heart. Close your eyes. Take a moment. Opening your eyes, you're gonna separate your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. That's a little bit wider. And then you're gonna just you're gonna place your hands right on your hip creases. It's right on your hip creases. And then push your hip creases back as you bend your knees. And so your torso is gonna be 45 degrees. Like not here, just somewhere 45 degrees. Hands placed right at the hip creases, right? So you're gonna soften through those hip creases. And then reach the arms so they're parallel to the floor. Just parallel to the floor. Very good. And then exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. So the only thing that's moving are the arms. The torso, the legs are staying the same. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. 2 more like that. Exhale, behind you. Inhale, forward. Last one. Exhale, behind you. Inhale, forward. And then release. Forward fold. Hang. And then again, coming into that chair pose. So the hands on the hip crease basically show you where the bend originates. Like right in that deep inner hip crease. Yeah, and the torso, if it's too high up, you'll feel the back bend, it'll start to hurt. So it's just where you can support the back muscle so they're a natural curvature of the spine. And then bring the arms up again, parallel. And then sweep the right arm behind you, gaze towards the right thumb, and then sweep it back forward. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. 2 more times. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. Last time. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. And then forward fold. And again, finding that chair pose. So when I actually place my fingers on my hip crease and I encourage the bend to come right from inner deep hip crease, right? Everything else feels good. And you're gonna bring your arms parallel. And this time, just the left arm moves back. And then inhale it forward. Exhale, left arm. Inhale it forward. 2 more times. Exhale, left arm moves back. Inhale, reach forward. 1 more like that. Left arm reaches back. Inhale, reaches forward. And let it go. Clasping the hands together behind the head. And just pushing the head. Giving a little tug to release the back of the neck. And then coming all the way up to standing. And then pulling it into the heart center. Let's do a couple standing poses. So we're gonna find warrior 2. Right leg forward, left leg behind you. Finding your warrior 2 pose. Right leg forward, left leg behind you. So the right leg is gonna come, the right heel is gonna come a little bit further forward to the right. So it's not heel to arch alignment. There's a little bit more movement, right? And then you're gonna deep bend, left hand on the left thigh. So I know it's weird. Left hand, left thigh, and then you're gonna use that to encourage the right hand on the right thigh, left hand, left thigh to straighten your torso. So your torso straight up and down. And then you're gonna reach your arms out to the side. Find a focal point somewhere over your right fingers to steady your gaze. And then breathe here. Just breathe. So the torso's not leaning forward and the torso's not leaning back, but it's just kind of straight up and down. And then on an inhale, you're gonna draw the palms together at the heart. And on an exhale, you're gonna draw the palms out. So we're gonna move some energy. Inhale, palms to the center of the heart. Exhale, arms extend and reach out. 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Straighten the right leg. Hand, and let's find triangle pose. So the right arm's gonna reach to whatever it lands on. Now, most people, most students I find are goal-oriented and they want to get their hand to the floor, but then that just ruins, it just creases my back, right? So it's a straight line, so you're better off with your hand maybe up towards the thigh, the knee, the shin, right? And finding that long line on both sides of the torso. So it's also reaching instead of curving and concaving on the right rib cage. You're lifting up and out. Breathe here. Maybe circle the head and neck one way, maybe the other way. So nice. 2 more breaths. Rebend the right knee, finding yourself back into the second warrior, and let's switch sides. So you're just gonna pivot the right foot in and then the left foot out. And find that warrior 2 with the hand, the different variation. So the right arm's gonna come to the thigh, the back, the right thigh, and the left palm's gonna come to the middle of the left thigh, right? And then you're gonna kind of push, press, push down on the left palm to lift the torso vertical. And then when you find that you're straight up and down, you're going to extend the arms out and then gaze somewhere over your left fingers. And let's steady our gaze for a couple breaths here. So here's our opportunity to practice a little mindfulness. So find a spot somewhere beyond the left fingers. Breathe into the spot. Breathe out of the spot. Breathe into the spot. Breathe out of the spot. One more time. And then turn the palms up. And this time, on an inhale, you're going to extend the arms up towards the ceiling, shoulder distance. And then exhale, you're going to lower. So 5 times like that. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in on the inhale, reach. Lower on the exhale. Last time like this. Inhale. Exhale. Now straighten the left leg. Right? And we find triangle pose on the left side. So the whole body is vertical. Right? So you're not reaching towards the toes and sticking your derriere out. You're keeping the whole body on a vertical plane. And the left hand lands where it is. Most of us will be closer to the knee, right? So that you can find a long extension on both sides of the waistline. So you're not kind of curled over or you're not arched back, but it's a long extension on both sides of the waistline. Gaze is either down towards your left toes, in the center of the room. I don't really like looking up towards my right fingers. It hurts my neck. But if it doesn't hurt your neck, that's an option too. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Beautiful. Rebend the left knee. Coming back to the second warrior. And then straighten the left leg. And then internally rotate the left toes. Externally rotate the right toes. Finding warrior 1. So both hips now pointing in the same direction, and that's forward. The right foot's going to walk a little bit over to the right. So it's not heel to heel alignment. Right? You have enough room for your left hip to swivel forward, right? And then bend the right knee and lean back into the pose as you extend the arms up overhead. And take a couple breaths here. We're going to clasp our big thumbs together. And on an inhale, you're going to reach and extend the arms up. And on an exhale, you're going to bend as you pull the thumbs apart and reach the palms behind the head. Here we go, 5 times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now straighten the right leg. This pyramid pose. And then you might need to shorten your stance a little bit. And then let the upper body go. 2 breaths in pyramid pose. Maybe your hands are on your shins. And then coming up and swiveling over to the other side. So the right toes internally rotate, the left toes externally rotate. And take a moment to set up the pose. So walk the left foot over so you're off your tightrope. So it's not heel to heel alignment. You're actually further out. And then use your right palm to swivel the hips forward, the right hip forward, right? And then bend the left knee deep. But keep the torso upright. Don't let it lean forward. Just kind of keep leaning back as you press into that back foot. And then inhale, the arms reach, finding that cross of the thumbs the opposite way. That's probably the most challenging part of this pose. And then on an inhale, we reach the arms and look up. And on an exhale, we pull the thumbs apart, opening through the torso. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Release the arm. Straighten the legs. Maybe shorten the stance if you need to. Pyramid pose. Either hands on the shins. If they don't, come to the floor. Last breath. Rebend the left knee, upright the torso, come to center, swivel back to center. Step or hop your feet together. Whew. Nice. Let's do a few standing poses and then we're gonna come down to the floor. So right knee's gonna come up. You're gonna grab a hold of your knee, right knee with your right hand, left arm out to the side like a T. Micro bend in the left knee so you can get grounded and steady here. Take a couple breaths. Left hand to right knee, so now you're gonna grab a hold of the knee with both hands and you're gonna pull the knee into the chest, micro bend in the left knee, and then press the foot down to lift the torso and the crown of the head up. So it's tall spine. Draw the navel in towards the spine to protect your lower back. Take a couple breaths, a little grounding and balance and core strength building. And then let that go. Nice. We're gonna add on to this, so feel free to stop at any point along the way. Left knee in. Whoop. Left hand grabs hold of left knee, right arm extends out to the side, micro bend in the right knee so you can get grounded, right? And then when you're steady, you build the pose by pressing down into the right foot, lifting up, drawing the navel in, and then both hands reach for the knee and pull it in towards the chest, and you lift up to the crown of the head. Don't let the shoulders creep up towards the ears. Keep pinning the shoulders down, drawing the navel in. Nice. One more breath here. And then let that go. Now we're adding on, so feel free to stop at any point along the way and modify. Left leg standing, right knee comes into the chest. Okay, so you're either gonna stay like this, or you're gonna bring your left hand to your hip and grab a hold of the right big toe with the right fingers, 2 fingers. Now this is all balance and core. You can stay here with the knee bent and out to the side, doesn't matter. Or you can straighten the leg. 3 rests. So you're either here or you're here. Nice. Now let that go. Woo, shake it out. Other side, right leg standing, left knee comes in. So this is where we all start together. Right hand on right hip if you're moving on. And then you're gonna grab a hold of the big toes. Not necessarily, you can stay here like this, or you can stay here like this, still building strength and stomach, core strength and balance, and then maybe straightening the leg. 3 breaths. And then let that go. Last part of the sequence, right leg again is gonna come bent, so I'm gonna offer you some modifications, right? There's no right or wrong. Right knee comes in. This time you're gonna grab a hold of the right knee with the left hand, and the right arm is gonna come back behind you, so it's a twist. If you can grab the toe of the foot, you straighten the leg, either one, and then twist. And then come back to center, let that go, shake it out. Other side, right leg standing leg, left knee bent. Grab a hold of the left knee with the right palm. So this is the modification, right? The left arm is gonna reach behind you and knees bent, or maybe you straighten the leg. One more breath. Come back to center. Let that go. Shake it out. Let's get down to the floor and do some stretching. So come on down, all the way down to the ground. Let me change the angle of the camera. Perfect. Come all the way down to the ground. Come onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Let's take a break. Good work, everybody. And then just kind of rock forward and back if that feels good on your lower back. C curve. So not a flat back, but a C curve. Just rocking forward and back. And then resting on your back with your knees into your chest. And then take the knees wide to the side and then draw them into the chest. And then find happy baby here. So either grabbing a hold of the inner arches or the outer edges of the feet, doesn't matter. And if you like to rock from side to side, you rock from side to side. And if you wanna take a couple breaths with the legs wide open and the hands either in the inner thighs, the calves, or the feet, you can explore that for a few breaths. And then draw the knees back into the chest. Nice. And then let the left leg go. So here's where you get to choose what's better on your back. Either having the left foot bent or the left leg straight. Either one, right? And then circle the right ankle one way. And then circle it the other way. And circle the knee and the hip joint one way. And then circle the other way. And then straighten the right leg and just breathe here. You're gonna flex and point the toes, flex and point, and then circle the ankle one way, and then circle it the other way. Nice. And then you're gonna externally rotate, so open that right leg out to the right, and if the left hip migrates with you, you've gone too far. And then you're gonna come back to center and find the twist. So you're gonna bring it across the body and breathe here. Oh. One more breath. And then come back to center and hug the knee back into the chest. And then let that side go and switch sides. Left knee's gonna come into the chest. You're gonna circle the left ankle one way. And then circle it the other way. Circle the knee and the hip joint one way. And then circle it the other way. And then just straighten the leg and take a couple breaths right here. And then flex and point the toe, and flex and point, and then circle one way, and circle the other way. And then we externally rotate that left leg, open it out to the side. And then we come up and over, taking it into the twist. And then we come back to center, drawing the knee into the chest. Bring both knees into the chest. And then release the legs and have the feet separated hip distance. And now we're going to do a little dynamic bridge. So on an inhale, you're going to lift the hips and the arms up overhead. And on an exhale, you're going to lower everything back down to the floor. A couple more times like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more times with movement. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time with movement. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time come up, stay up. Like so, any variation of bridge. If you want to clasp your hands together behind your back. If you have a block and you want to do restorative, whatever makes you happy. 5 breaths. Two more breaths. And then release, draw the knees into the chest. So I want to offer you an opportunity for an inversion, and that can look any way, right? So you can do a passive inversion, which will be just on the floor with your legs up like this towards the ceiling and just kind of playing with different variations. Those of you who have shoulder stand practice can do shoulder stand. If you got a roller, you want to place that underneath your hips. You can take your decorative pillow and place it underneath your hips and have your legs extended up. But taking these last few moments for a little inversion. So when you're ready, finding your legs, your variation of your inversion. And then if you want to play with the range of motion of your hips and your inversion, feel free to explore that. And when you've had enough, finding your way to plow pose. And then plow pose, knees into your chest, rolling down 1 vertebra at a time. And draw your knees back into your chest. And now we take a couple twists here after inversions. You draw your knees into your chest, draw your right arm out to the side like a T, and both hips drop to the left. And come back to center and pivot around to the other side. So knees into the chest and then left arm out to the side like a T as you swivel both knees now over to the right. And then drawing both knees back into the chest, and rocking yourself up to a seated position for pigeon pose. Now here's where your decorative pillow can come in handy. You can place it underneath your right buttock cheek. You can slide your right shin forward and the pillow underneath the right hip and glutes, and then crawl yourself on down. And crawling your hands and your torso up, and then just swiveling the back leg forward and the front leg back, and finding your way into pigeon pose on the left side. So scooting the decorative pillow, if that was helpful, underneath the left hip and butt cheek, and then walking yourself down into the pose. And then crawling yourself up from this pose. We're going to do a couple more hip openers, and I'm going to give you a couple options for you to choose. I'm going to get out of the sunspot. So you can either sit on top of your decorative pillow, or if you have a block, on top of your block. And you can do double pigeon. So the left shin's going to come forward and the right shin's going to stack on top, right? So you can either do double pigeon, or if you like Gomukasana, happy cow, right? You're going to come to both knees stacked on top of each other, and you're going to sit back, and you're going to sit up like this. If none of these options are calling out to you, you can come on your back and do thread the needle. So you can be on your back with the, taking turns on threading the needle one side, then the other side. This to me is intense, but it gets just the right spots. Like, I can feel it stretching on my right IT band and the right hip and the inner groin, like all the right places. So find your position, and then we sit and practice mindfulness. So we inhale and draw the breath in, and we exhale and let the body soften into the exhalation. So inhale and exhale. We watch the breath. We stream the breath in nice and long and deep and slow. And then we stream the breath out nice and deep and slow. So it now truly becomes a breath practice. Two more cycles of breath on this side, whatever pose you chose. We're going to switch to the other side. So inhale, coming back to neutral, switching to the other side. So if you were threading the needle, you would switch legs, single pigeon, double pigeon, or maybe Gomukasana, happy cow. Don't ask me why they call it that pose. It's not happy. There's nothing happy about it. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. This is the part of the class where you practice mindfulness. Like this is the meditation part where you really slow everything down. Relax the jaw and the palate of your tongue. Relax your facial muscles. Relax the gripping sensation of your brain. Breathe. Two more breaths. Last breath. And now you come out and we'll find our way to our backs for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So you can use your decorative pillow as a pillow for your head. You can place it underneath your knees for a little spinal traction, but take this time now to set yourself up for a well-deserved Shavasana. When you get there, just kind of swivel your hips from side to side. Let all the EBGBs out, right? You take a moment to lie down and rest. Let's take a cleansing breath through the nose and then audible exhale. Two more times, cleansing breath in. Let it go out the mouth. Last time, inhale. Full body exhale. And now just settle here for a few minutes, closing your eyes, softening into the space. And then slowly coming back into your body by making small little movements with your fingers, your wrists, your toes, your ankles, circling them around one way and then the other way. And then extend the arms and legs and reach for a full body stretch. So stretch from one fingertip to tippy toe. And then draw your knees into your chest. Take a couple breaths in this shape. And then when you're ready, rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position. So maybe sitting on your pillow, maybe sitting on your block. Right in the sun. Bring your hands to your heart center. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. We're gonna meditate for about a minute. It's not long. Your arms wherever they feel comfortable, so they can, palms can be on tops of your thighs, they can be at your heart, wherever it feels natural. Close your eyes. And just breathe. Follow your breath in all the way through your nose, down your esophagus, into your brachial lungs. down into the diaphragm, down to the lower belly, tops of the thighs, the hips, the knees, the toes, like deep, full body breaths. And then let's bring our hands together at our hearts and sealing our practice this morning by bowing our heads in deep gratitude. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. May there be peace in the world. Namaste, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to unmute you so we can all say hello to each other. How was that?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yay. Feel
Thank
better?
you so much, Hana. It was great.
Yay. I love you guys. And
Namaste. Thank you.
yes, thank you for coming and being here. Keep breathing. That's all I can say. Sometimes I find myself like in the middle of this anxiety, not a panic attack yet, but just like, ah, and then I notice that I'm holding my breath, right? And then, so these tools that we practice together are great tools that we can utilize to reground ourselves, right? To come back to the present moment, our body, and what's truly important, because anxiety is something we can manage, right? With these tools that we practice together with our breath. So love you guys.
Love
I can
you.
finally wait to see you in person. Have a
The best.
wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, you guys. Love you all. Cheryl.
What? I'm
let
here.
me- Stay here. Let me stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording.